taxes for. So Baird, the nominee for Attorney General, her career founded on this. Kimber Wood withdrew her nomination on a far less serious charge, and so did Linda Chavez. There's one standard for women and another for men. Men aren't responsible. Multi-millionaire men who deal in minimum wage jobs, who deal in undocumented immigrants working for them at reduced wages. I mean, so I think these are fights worth making.
So what about that, David? Because some people are looking at Washington and saying, oh, it's just more of the same. The wheels are not turning in the nation's capital.
Well, that's patently true. On the various nominees, I generally think the president should get his cabinet picks unless they're egregiously out of the range, either ethically or intellectually out of the range of what's acceptable. And I have to say, a lot of these nominees are not necessarily my cup of tea, but I think they're clearly within the range. Jeff Sessions has some problematic spots on his history, but he has been a pretty normal, respectable senator, more conservative than a lot of us, but a respectable senator for a long period of time. So I think the Democrats are right to protest, but I don't think he's so far out of the range of normalcy that he shouldn't be confirmed. Betsy DeVos is not the most informed person on education policy, but I have seen her present a few times, and she presents as a pretty respectable, intelligent person who has cared passionately about education, cares about charter schools. The teacher unions may not like her, but she's clearly within the range of Republican policymakers. As for multimillionaires, a lot of us hope to be a multimillionaire someday. Again, spotty records, but it seems to me not without the range. I don't blame the Democrats for fighting. They've got a very energized base, and there's a lot to complain about a lot of these nominees, but I think if you're actually going to turn someone down from a president's own cabinet, it better be a lot more egregious than the cases we've seen.
Well, that's my question, Mark. Where draw the line? I mean, where do Democrats say no?
I mean, they're confirmed. I mean, Tillotsson's confirmed. They backed Mattis. They're not going to fight Ben Carson. I think I disagree with David. I agree with his assumption and his premise that the president is entitled to a cabinet option, but it's not a rubber stamp. And I don't think anybody could watch the confirmation hearings of Betsy DeVos and say that this is somebody qualified to be Secretary of Education. 90% of children in America go to public schools. She knows nothing about public schools and apparently cares less. And her position on guns in schools, we've got a potential grizzlies. We should have guns available in schools. I mean, so, you know, and Andrew Puzder, I mean, this is somebody who basically has just broken the law. And he's going to be held to no standard at all, whereas women nominees have been rejected in the past.
I mean, even Republicans are saying Puzder may have a problem. David, what about the points that Mark's making?
Well, in some cases, I agree with the Puzder point. I do agree there has been a double standard. On the DeVos case, I agree that the gun position is kind of weird, kind of crazy. But I do think she does know about public schools. The reason the Betsy DeVos case was the centerpiece case for the Democrats was not about her weakness as a knowledgeable person in education policy. She does care about charter schools, which are public schools. She does care about choice, which is a perfectly legitimate thing to care about. It's because it's the one issue where the Democratic donor base was really energized, which was the teacher unions. People ask quite legitimately why DeVos and why not a lot of the others, but because it has to do with special interest groups that run a lot of Washington. Would she be my first pick? No. Is she someone who has dedicated her life to education policy? Yes, actually she has. I've seen her present a few times. I don't really know her, but I've seen her present on education policy, and she's not a stupid person. She's quite a smart person, capable of pretty sophisticated and subtle thought. And so to me, that puts her in the realm of politics. But we're in a climate where today, professors in school can't do that because protesters are blocking that. And that's what I mean about the rising tide of incivility that's sweeping over politics.
That was wrong. She should have been allowed to go to public school. It would have been a novel experience for her. And this is not about the teachers' unions alone. That's a very convenient punching bag to say the Democrats are just jumping at strings. Yes, the teachers' unions opposed her, and for good reason. They don't think that her commitment to public education exists. So